What's happening, YouTube? Tammy Husband here. I got some pickups to show. This little stack right here. And I also have 5 questions to answer. So I'll start with the questions. Question number 1 was dinner with somebody who is dead. Now I could have went one of 2 ways with this. I could go with somebody who was actually a part of my life, which would be my mom and my brother. But I decided I wanted to keep my video light. So instead of tracking into the backstory of whys and hows and all that stuff, I decided I would go with actual celebrity. And my guy that I chose, I was introduced to this guy while watching the Ken Burns documentary Baseball on PBS, and I just fell in love with this guy. He was such a warm, grandfatherly figure, and I would just love to sit with him and pick his brains on Negro League baseball and what it was like growing up in those times with all the segregation and just hatred towards his race. And I actually have his book here. I've read it a couple times. It's called I Was Right on Time, and hopefully I can get the whole book in the camera here. But it's Buck O'Neil. Just love this guy. I never get tired of watching the baseball documentaries and hearing him talk. And on the day that he passed, I cried. I cried because he was going to be gone, and I also cried because I was so pissed off that he didn't get into the Hall of Fame. And he still hasn't gotten into the Hall of Fame, and I don't understand why he hasn't gotten into the Hall of Fame, because he has been such an ambassador. I mean, he started up the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City, went across the country, even up until his final weeks and days, and just spread the love of baseball. So Buck O'Neil's my RIP guy. Dinner with somebody current. At first I thought I was going to say Brian Wilson. I'm a big Brian Wilson fan. I don't know so much if I'd want to just sit down and talk with him. I think I'd want to go out and maybe have a beer and maybe get a tattoo with the guy. But somebody who I would generally enjoy talking with. And a lot of people don't like this guy because he's kind of a condescending prick. Both of these guys, actually, because I really struggled who I was going to pick. And I also have books on them. The first guy would be Anthony Bourdain. I read his first book, Kitchen Confidential. I haven't gotten to this book yet, Medium Raw. But I just love the guy. He reminds me of a chip vendor. For those of you who don't know, I'm in the grocery industry. Who I consider a father figure. He was just so sarcastic and could just sit and chew your ear off with stories from his life, and I think that's how Anthony Bourdain would be. The second guy, right under Anthony Bourdain, is this guy, Bob Costas. He's another guy people either like or genuinely just hate. And I would just like to sit down with the guy and talk to him about baseball, because I mean his wealth of knowledge with baseball is just in the stratosphere. So yeah, I would like to talk with Bob Costas as well. I have a little dinner with him as well. Anthony Bourdain more so because I think he could actually cook me a really awesome dinner. And I've always wanted to try like foie gras, and I think he could make me some foie gras because he's a French chef. Question 3, YouTuber you'd like to see back. Now admittedly I'm still a rookie at this. You know, I don't have a lot of videos, I don't have a lot of subs. So I guess I'm going to go with the conventional answer that everybody's been given and say Techno Bailey, because I actually have watched his vids, and I was generally entertained by them. You know, what up fuckers? I miss that. So yeah, I'd like to see Alan come back. Question 4, my biggest influence. Oh boy. I would have to say, just off the top of my head, my great-grandma, who just turned 90, actually, a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I would say she was my greatest influence, just simply for the fact that she taught me respect, she taught me right from wrong, and those are things that I still, you know, I'm having a hard time at work lately, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't really been making a lot of vids, because I've just been down in the dumps. And granted, I still have a job, and there's people out there that don't have a job. But this guy that we have as our store director right now is one of those lazy, finger-pointing, take all the credit for himself type people that, you know, he talks down to you like you're a little child, and you know, coming from the guy that we had before him, the guy was really respectful and talked to you like you were a human being and listened to your problems and helped you figure out how to get things done. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you give me respect and you show me respect, I'm going to give it right back to you, and I'm going to go to war with you. Granted, it's just groceries, but you have to have that mindset sometimes, especially this time of year in the grocery industry, that you're going to war, because customers, man, they can just rip your eyeballs out if you are out of something. So my grandma taught me the two greatest words in the English language. Please, thank you. If you know how to use those two words, and you know how to genuinely say those two words, you're going to go places. Question 5, my current inspiration. I don't really know if it's a one human that's an inspiration. You know, I could say a million people inspire me. A million deities inspire me. But I think just the idea of loving thy neighbor is an inspiration. There's just so many jerks out there in the world nowadays. And I just don't get why we all have to be jerks to one another. Why can't we just extend our hand when we see somebody in pain and help them out? You know, that's my inspiration. People that do that. People that reach that hand out. People that'll give you that cup of water in the desert if you're thirsty and they're thirsty. They'll give you the water. Those are the type of people that inspire me, because at the end of the day, my biggest wish for the world would be that we could all just fucking be happy. That we could all just love each other and mean it. And no more wars and no more hate. I despise it. So that's that. Next up, I got some cards to show. We'll get to that really quick. That was a child coming in the room, by the way, even though I told them not to. For those of you that have kids, you understand that they just don't listen sometimes. Alright, first up, for just a random football pickup for my Legends. Had to pick up Daddy. I mean, I got a couple cards of the son. Clay Matthews Sr. I hope I'm putting that in the right area. That is numbered out of 2385. That's out of Pro Line. I think 95? Yeah, 95. Next up, what do I got here? For the Back to the Future set, I was able to finally score a Todd Christensen, numbered out of 49. And lo and behold, I was able to score a Steve Young. I paid a little bit more than I normally do for a single card, but it was the first one I saw, and it's a really awesome looking card. I can't wait to show you guys. But I was able to find Steve Young. So I'm just down to John Hadel and, oh wow, brain fart. John Hadel and somebody else. I don't know. Don Meredith. And also, I guess Junior Seau has a jersey card in that. So I'm going to be on the lookout for one of those, just to have the whole player roster, because I already picked up a Doak Walker and a Otto Graham. Alright, next up for the New Breed set, I made a killing, because there's a guy that is like selling off his whole set, I guess. He has some really nice cards in it. This one actually came from Canada. It's a Ryan Broyles. Very beautiful card. This one's numbered out of 49. It's got 2 breaks and a whole bunch of colors. Alright, nice 4-color Nick Foles. For all you Eagles fans out there, he's your new starting quarterback. C'est la vie, Mr. Dog Killer. And that one's numbered out of 49. Alright, next up, the big boys here. This is from that seller I was talking about. I was able to pick up a Justin Blackmon 3-color. Just finally come out of his funk. That one's numbered out of 25. I apologize if you can't actually see the cards that well. I'm not too sure where I'm positioned here, because I'm trying to do this on a